Hi, I'm Teresa. I decided to start a booktube channel for some reason, and I thought a good kind of introductory video would be the booktube newbie tag and just a bit of an about me, who I am. So I've got the questions down here, that's where I'm looking. But first things, as I've already said, I'm Teresa. I'm 18. I'm Scottish. I live in Scotland. I'm currently at university. I study French and Spanish. I also work part-time, and yeah, that's what I do. It's very basics. Just currently reading just is Enchanté by Gita Trellis. Don't know why, but I always pronounce it in French. I think it's just because Enchanté is French. I'm really liking it. There's lots of French in it, and it's set at the time of the Revolution, the French Revolution. It's so interesting. It's got such a interesting magic system and just lots of cool stuff happening. Really enjoying it. Also reading for my French literature course, Maurice Condé, Le cœur à rire et à pleurer et souvenirs de mon enfance. This is purely in French, and it is just some, I think, as far as I'm aware, true stories about Maurice Condé's childhood, and it's autobiographical, I think. It's based during the 50s. She's in Guadeloupe. It's can't tell you much about it because I've not had any lectures on it, but it's interesting so far. Only 40 pages in. Yeah, just gonna pick that bookmark back up. So this is really like daunting as a first video. I would rather just like right into it, but instead I've just got this tower of 4 boxes, 2 books, and the Harry Potter DVD collection staring at me. I think types of videos I probably do would be more like casual and reading vlogs, and probably not very often just standing in front of a bookshelf like this. My bookshelf, by the way, this is one. I have one at home here and also one at university in my student accommodation in my halls, which is half the height and has all my favourites, all the ones I'm likely to read soon. So these are all the ones that are kind of like secondary, not that fussed about, and that's why there are absolutely no queer books here. Much anyway. But I think that's probably all I'd like to say. I'm just gonna start in the booktube newbie tag. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? And really, I don't know. Just kind of wanted to, seemed fun, and I like talking about books, and I think I prefer the booktube format to blogging or like even Instagram stories. I don't really like. Just I think this format works a lot better. I am on Bookstagram. If you fancy following that, there'll be a link in the description. So I do talk about books there in captions and such, but no, I just quite liked the idea of doing this. Seemed fun. The next question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? I don't really know if there's anything unique. Like, a bit of a stretch. I don't really know how to answer the question, but I like to think that my reading tastes aren't always completely mainstream, believe it or not, with the books behind me, but I do read a lot of queer books. I've been trying to read more and more because that's what I enjoy, and I feel like you need to have that kind of diversity and representation on booktube because I'm definitely queer, so it's having queer people talk about queer books and rep that as own voices to them, if that makes sense. Third question is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? I think just like being part of the community, in like chatting to people, things like that. Yeah, it's just it seems fun, really. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? And I hate questions like this, like, why do you love what you love? Like, I don't know, I just do. My brain says it's fun, so it's fun. I don't know, it's just, I enjoy doing it. I've always read and I've always enjoyed it. I like just, I don't know, just learning through human experience through books and being somewhere else with different people, but within a fictional setting. The fifth question is, what book or series got you into reading? As I said, I've always read, so since I was very little, but to get kind of back into reading and into YA would have been, I think, The Hunger Games. I'd kind of stopped reading for a while, maybe at the start of Academy, which is like secondary school in Scotland. But my friend, I was staying at hers for a sleepover, and the next day we went to see Catching Fire in cinemas. I'd never heard of The Hunger Games, I hadn't seen the first film, I hadn't read the books, I had no idea what was happening, but I watched the film, I really liked it. I read the books, watched the first film, and that was that. Just back into reading. The next question is, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? I don't really know, I don't have any questions. It's just, I really wonder how they managed to like keep ahead on posting and also having so many other life things happening, but also like when you sit down and edit and you just see your face and hear your voice and it's like, why? Like, how can you just suffer through that? That's my questions. And next is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So kind of what I said and what I'd wanted to ask other booktubers would be just time management and having to just edit and look at my face. And also I think if I'm not immediately super popular, I'll just be like, this is terrible, I'm never going to upload it ever again, and that'll be that. So yeah, I think I'd get very, very easily disheartened, I suppose. The next is, when did you start reading? Kind of already said, always read. Okay, so next is, where do you read? I tend to read at home, in my bed, on the couch, wherever's comfy. I've also been trying to read, just with university being so busy, just like on my commute on the way to class, if I get there a few minutes early, just to have something on my phone to read. And that does help, and just get a little bit read, and it builds up over the day, and voila, I've suddenly read a decent amount. The final question is, what kind of books do you like to read? And this is an interesting question because over the past year, my reading tastes have changed so much. I used to just the answer would be YA fantasy and there'd be no doubt about it. But now, although I still love YA fantasy, I also read contemporary, which before I hated. I thought it was so boring. But it turns out if you just use queer characters instead of like cishet white people with the same problems over and over again, it can be interesting. So I've been reading a lot of that. Historical fiction like Enchanté. It's also really, really interesting and something I want to read more of. I like kind of like books with like a bit of mystery and like crime solving to them. Like I recently finished the Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Kerry Maniscalco. So yes, my tastes are quite varied, but if it's queer, if it's diverse, it's something I'm probably going to be interested in. So that's my tastes. that's all the questions, and I don't really think I've got anything else to say. So thank you for watching if you have, and see you hopefully at some point with another video.